All right, we're doing bison burgers today for our entree. It's super simple and very, very healthy for you to eat. The fat content is way lower than your average ground beef. This package was from the Commodities in Santee, and so we will be using this, some salt, pepper, and olive oil, romaine lettuce, Roman tomatoes, and an onion, also all available at Commodities. These are called sandwich thins. They are a low carb, low calorie alternative to regular hamburger buns, and you can get this at the local grocery store in the bread section. Okay, first we are going to turn on our stove and get it prepped for our meat. All right, while that's warming up, we are going to get our burger patties ready. So this is a 1 pound package of bison. I like to make quarter-pound burgers, so that means it's 1/4 of a pound of bison. The easiest way to do it evenly is to cut it like this out of the package and then form your patties. All right, so in forming your patty, you're going to take your piece of hamburger, and this has some blood in it, so I'm just going to squish some of that out so it's easier to compress together. So you're going to want to start off with a ball shape, and then it requires both your hands. So I press down with my thumb and guide it with my index finger till it forms the patty that I would like. And then you can pat it down and it's ready. You don't want them super thick, but you don't want them super thin either. Once we have our patties made, we are going to grind some salt and pepper on top and bottom of our patties. And for pepper, you can do it according to your preference. I like that pepper gives it nice flavor. And you're just gonna want to put a little bit of salt on there, just for a little bit of flavor. For health reasons, it's best to not add a bunch. So just a nice sprinkle of salt. All right, our pan should be hot and ready now. Okay, now we are going to prep our vegetables for our topping of our burger. We have some Roman tomatoes. I'm going to cut out the location of where the stem is right on top. And you're gonna cut it at an angle so you get a cone-like piece to come out at the end. Like so. Okay, it sounds like our burgers are ready to be flipped. One thing when you're making burgers, you don't want to flip them back and forth, because you won't get the nice sear on the sides. So you should only have to flip it one time for it to be good. All right, we're gonna let it cook for about another 4 to 5 minutes. And we have some romaine lettuce. And I'm cutting pieces that will fit nicely onto our bun. And that should be enough for the burgers we're going to do. And then lastly, for our burgers, we're gonna cut up a small onion. I cut off the top and the bottom, then make a slit down the side. And that's where I peel off. the outer layer. So we have our onion that's ready to cut. And we're going to do very thin slices downward. Okay, now you just wait for our burgers to finish. Here we go. So we are starting our skinny coleslaw. We're going to be using stevia, low-fat mayonnaise, and non-fat Greek yogurt as the big changes in our recipe from a traditional coleslaw. We'll also have Dijon mustard, white vinegar, olive oil, salt and pepper, cabbage, carrots, celery, and onions. You will need a grater, measuring cups and spoons, a whisk, and a bowl and a container to shred your stuff in, and then you'll need a bowl to mix up at the end. Our first step, we are going to put together our dressing. We need 1/4 cup of light mayonnaise. All right, it should just go nice even across the top. And you add that to your bowl. Then we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. This is a non-fat, plain Greek yogurt. You don't want to get a flavored Greek yogurt. So you have to pay attention when you're picking your yogurt at the store. Next, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. One teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Okay, now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of stevia. This is our sugar alternative, so this is very diabetic friendly. Then we're going to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. And we are going to take our whisk and get it nicely mixed up till everything's consistent. And this will be what goes on top of our vegetables when we get them cut. Okay, first we're gonna cut up our onion. The recipe calls for 1/4 of a sweet onion. So we're just going to dice up some of this onion that we had cut for our bison burgers. And you want to have a nice fine dice. Next, we're going to cut up 2 stalks of celery. So I'm going to cut off the ends. And you can save these ends for your vegetable stock. For celery, I like to cut it down the middle, lengthwise first. Make it even at the ends. And then just rock your knife down. So in here we have our onions and our celery. Next, we're going to trim off the ends of our carrots. And you can use 4 to 5 medium-sized carrots. And we're going to grate them. Okay, now we have our carrot nicely grated. We're going to start on our red cabbage and our green cabbage. You're going to want to peel off the first couple of layers of your cabbage. This is due to the chemicals that are on the outside and the preservatives used at the grocery stores in transit. So, or even if you're getting it from your own personal garden, it's really nice to just take off the outer edges because it's not as fresh. These are the first leaves that grow when your plant is established in the ground. So they just get bigger and bigger and it grows from the inside out. All right, so here we go. We have our cabbage and I'm going to cut it in half. So if you notice right here, this is how your cabbage grows. It's not in any particular order. Every cabbage is different, kind of like a snowflake. And in the purple one, you can really see the definition between the different ones as it grows. And these are very easy to grow in our local area, so feel free to put them in your garden at home. Here we have our green cabbage, purple cabbage, our carrots, our celery, and our onion. So we have 5 different layers of vegetables ready to go in our coleslaw. So I'm going to dump it into a larger bowl. And then on top of this, we're going to add our dressing that we made earlier. Again, this dressing had the low-fat mayonnaise, our non-fat Greek yogurt, our Dijon mustard, and some salt and pepper, vinegar, and our stevia. So this is going to be a really great choice, health-wise, because it includes all of these vegetables, and it still is low in sugar and salt content. Okay, we're able to tell that our burgers are done because there is no pink left. If you do a slight cut on the side, you can tell that there's no pink. Both sides are browned nice and even, and they've cooked for the appropriate amount of time. So, and it also depends on your preference. Some people like a little bit of pink in their center of their burger, but for safety reasons, it's best to cook your hamburger all the way through.